Hey, how's it going, everyone? Bass here, and in today's video, I have an update on the status of David Bakhtiari's injury. Of course, that ACL injury he suffered back in December of 2020. And you may be thinking, why are we still talking about this? David Bakhtiari, like I said, tore his ACL in December of 2020, December 31st of 2020 to be exact. And that's exactly 17 months ago, which is way more than enough time to recover and to be 100%, you would think. And the Packers were supposed to get David Bakhtiari back late last season, going into the playoffs. We saw David Bakhtiari play in that Week 18 game against Detroit the first 3 drives, and then he was taken out of the game. We thought it was a pitch count. Matt LaFleur consistently said, hey, we're keeping David Bakhtiari on a pitch count just to keep him fresh and ready. And then we never saw him again. So Bakhtiari clearly at some point last year had a setback. And of course, now we fast forward to last week. The Packers had their OTAs, which is voluntary. So theoretically, David Bakhtiari doesn't have to be there, but he still wasn't in any capacity practicing at all. And then today, during press conferences, Matt LaFleur was asked about David Bakhtiari's absence, and he had this to say. Tweet was put out here by Rob Demoski, and it says, Matt LaFleur on David Bakhtiari not on the field for OTAs. Quote, our plan all along was to hold him from this and get strong and hopefully be ready to go for training camp. What really worries me here is the word hopefully. You would think at this point, he would be ready for camp. I mean, this is 17 months after he tore his ACL. I don't think in any way or shape or form you would think at this point that David Bakhtiari still wouldn't be ready to where you're throwing out the term hopefully. Another tweet here says, Matt LaFleur says plan for David Bakhtiari was always to keep him out of the OTA process. No need to have him going through drills and shorts. Goal is to have him at full capacity for camp. Quote, this is a guy who's played a lot of ball and it's best to hold him from this portion of it. And with that, I do agree to a point. There's no point to overwork someone like David Bakhtiari who's played a lot of football. If they don't need to, but I'd still like to see him in some capacity in these practices. I mean, just last week in the OTAs, I posted a video with all the clips, and we saw Elton Jenkins, Robert Tonyan, and Kylan Hill all doing some type of work in these OTAs, and these are dudes that tore their ACL in 2021. Bakhtiari tore his in 2020. You would at least like to see him out there doing a little bit of drills, just like you saw with Elton, Bob Tonyan, and Kylan Hill. And at this point, I guess I am really just hoping David Bakhtiari does indeed return for training camp, which starts on July 28th, a whole 2 months away. Now, mandatory minicamp is on June 7th and 9th, 7th through the 9th, so we'll see if he's out there for some capacity in that mandatory minicamp, but I don't know if Matt LaFleur meant specifically training camp in late July, or does that mean he's going to be back for this mandatory minicamp in some capacity? But the Packers need their all-pro left tackle back. That much is very clear. Elton Jenkins may not be ready for week 1, even though he's shown great progression. We don't know. Obviously, we have to go through the entire offseason, see how that progresses. And an O-line without its 2 best players, obviously, is not ideal. Although the Packers do have great offensive line depth, drafting 3 offensive linemen in this draft, obviously you want David Bakhtiari back, one of the best left tackles in the league, blocking Aaron Rodgers' blind side. Obviously, you want him back, and that's all what we want. And honestly, it should have been months ago. So let's just hope that he's here in July for training camp. But that's all I have for you in this video. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I feel like we've been talking about David Bakhtiari for what it seems like 8 months now on his potential return. I've made plenty of videos on a David Bakhtiari update, but it seems like we get different news every single time. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below about this whole David Bakhtiari thing. Just leave that down below. And of course, if you want more Packers news, analysis, and updates, and you aren't subscribed already, please go down and consider clicking that subscribe button, as well as leaving a like on the video to support my channel. But that about does it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.